Pull that video up, because it's one of my favorites.
Our school foods program that's going to help 400,000 more kids across the country have full bellies as they start their school day.
Mr. Speaker, it's a school food program that has not served a single solitary meal, even though it was promised 3 years ago. What he's feeding is bureaucracy, not children. With so many empty stomachs, isn't it just a little bit wacko to be raising carbon taxes on farmers and food?
Have you ever seen that video?
Fried chicken, and wontons, and teriyaki glaze, and an egg roll. Some people think the Zaxby's Sensation salad is too delicious to be a salad. Yep, that's why we call it a salad. The Zaxby's Sensation salad. Zaxby's.
Aliens across the southern border.
What do you see the biggest national security threat to the U.S., Mr. President? What's going to be your priority on foreign policy?
Say?
What's going to be your priority on foreign policy? What do you see as the biggest national
Foreign policy is a big statement. I mean,
Hey.
Priority on foreign policy. It's going to keep. It's going to.
Nobody heard
keep
anything I had to say,
America safe.
so
Very
this
simple.
thing basically has to start all the way back
Question,
over.
though. That's a very big
Okay, everybody.
First
My
foreign
bad,
leader
my
that
bad,
you
my
plan
bad.
to meet, or who you going to call tomorrow?
This is
Your
Justin
birthday
Trudeau.
I've been
This is
meeting
about
people.
Justin
I've been
Trudeau.
Meeting him. I've been talking to
Yeah.
him. I met with Prime Minister Trudeau, like all Governor Trudeau. I met.
Sorry
with,
about that. This is
numerous
the corruption going
foreign
on in
leaders.
Canada, our neighbor, which is a bipartisan. This is a bipartisan of the stuff that's going on. Without, let me see if I can sign in. I don't think I want to sign in. Let me just transition back over to me.
We have about 6
Okay,
conversations.
when I do
in
that,
there
I'm going to sign in.
where we're doing
to
further
mine.
research. Nice to see you again.
I don't know why I did that. Got my phone. Bear with me, I peg type. Peg. Alrighty, here is. Is it? Oh, no. Mine's the old. I haven't changed that. No. There we go. It's too. Yeah, I want to do that now. I said not now. Bruh, it be trying to force stuff on you, bruh. Like, what? Like, what? It be just trying to force things on you. But I got to get that premium, baby. I got that premium. I'm going to use that premium. Now maybe I can get back to YouTube. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, now I didn't want you to get none of my passcodes. So here we go.
We have about 6 commutations in there where we're doing further research. Nice to see you again.
I just want to put, you know what I'm saying, I like how Trump, I just want to put how I like how Trump, you know what I'm saying, you know, say he takes jabs at everybody while he does it, you know what I'm saying, and how he actually sits down and does. We've seen more of him in the last 2 days than we've seen of the last guy, you know what I'm saying, in the entire time of his presidency. What a sham. Joe was a sham. Like, hello, my name is Joe Biden. Oh. Dude, he's like Emperor fucking Palpatine. Really, we dodged a bullet, not in... Dude, I'm not saying a woman can't, by all means, I'm not saying a woman can't be president. Okay, what I'm saying is that she can fuck it up just as much. It's the women that were. You had that bumbling idiot, and then you had the socialist Nazi in Clinton. And then we have to look at all the Department of Justice. Look at the two-tier justice system. Look what everybody that got pre-pardoned. I want my pardon. You know? The Alaskan Avenger needs a pardon. He was doing their job for them. He was punishing child molesters. You know what I'm saying? And he did more time than the child molesters get. Come on, man. Where's that at? You know? All right, let's go back to this. I'm sorry I keep interrupting you. Here we go.
Hamas or Hezbollah, none. They were flat broke. And October 7th would have never happened. And I think you all know that. It would have never happened. They had no money. Now they're rich, but, you know, they're weakened in a different way. I would say that the one attack by Israel really set them back. It really set them back. The Pagers, and others. You know, the attack on air defense was a bad.
Now this is right here. Now what I'm fixing to introduce to y'all is Jordan Peterson. This is one of the guys that I've listened to that's really changed my life and stuff like that. Here, just listen to these 12 rules in 12 minutes.
There's been times in my life where I have felt stuck, have felt lost, unmotivated. Things have just been kind of chaotic. And this book, 12 Rules for Life, has really helped me bring about a little bit of order into my life. If you've seen my channel, you know that I love rules, and I think the rules in this book are some of the best ones. They're a lot kind of deeper than the ones I normally talk about, but honestly, they really change my mindset, how I think, and in turn, how I act. So while I'm not just going to be doing an outline of the book, I'm kind of sharing some little takeaways that really stuck with me. So even if you read this, I think these are really good reminders. So let's just jump into the first point. The noble victim. Honestly, this was probably the biggest takeaway for me from this book. This and actually the last point that I'm going to be talking about. So make sure you stick around till the end. A lot of times we look at other people or we even do this to ourselves as the noble victim. If bad stuff is happening, it's easy to blame other people for it. It's easy to say that they are in bad circumstances, they got dealt a bad deck, it's somebody else's fault, it's the government's fault, it's those people, it's somebody else besides yourself or their self, when in reality, that's actually the least likely explanation.
There we go. You hear that? That's the least likely explanation to it. More likely that you're in your position because you put yourself there. You know, I own everything that's happened to me. I had a choice. That's the point. I had a choice. I could have went with the crowd, or and mostly, you know, normally the crowd was going with me, but I could have went with the crowd, or I could have, you know what I'm saying. And for the biggest time, it's this person and that person, but when it all lays with me. I'm sorry to keep interrupting. We're just going over the steps. But we'll let him continue. Here.
Extreme ownership. If you look at bad things that have happened in your life and you track them back far enough, it'll probably be because of a decision that you made. Maybe it was years ago that you are now paying for, or something you didn't do. And when you look at things this way, a lot of people like to see themselves or other people as the noble victim, but when you do that, you actually strip away all power from that person, because you're saying that they have no control. You have no control over all this bad stuff that's happening to you, and therefore you can't really change anything because it's out of your control. But if you say, you know what, this is probably something that I did, let me look at how I can change my own life, because that's something you can actually take action on, then there's no more blaming, and you can take extreme ownership and actually change your life for the better instead of always blaming other people for your problems.
Okay, let's go right there. Okay, what we're talking about right there, what I want to bring this little tidbit up to is that once you take the narrative of your life into your own grasp, then you can do with your life what you want. Then it's up to you what your life's going to be. Until then, you're just blowing in the wind. Either way it goes, you know what I'm saying? You're just with anything. You know what I'm saying? If you don't stand for anything, which is an old saying, you'll fall for anything. You know what I'm saying? Everything. You'll fall for all of it. You'll be gullible. You'll have people take advantage of you. And henceforth, you know, even if you are third party helping someone take advantage of other people, that's my son coming through there, then what does that leave? You know, if we were all take accountability for ourselves, if we would mind our own business to a T, then we would, and accept accountability for the situations that we put ourselves into, we would get so much further in life. Here, let me go back to it right here. Okay, let me transition back. Bam.
Treat yourself like you are somebody you are responsible for. As a people, we generally take pretty crappy care of ourselves in general. We won't eat right, we won't go to bed on time, we won't exercise, we won't do things to better our lives. And yet, if it's, let's say, our children, you wouldn't feed them junk food even if they wanted it, just because it would make them happy, or most of the things that kids want, and yet we do that for ourselves. We have to kind of take a step back and do what is in the best interest for us, even if it's not the thing that will bring us immediate gratification, but instead kind of direct ourselves into doing things that will make us feel better tomorrow, will make us stronger and smarter and have better relationships tomorrow, and not just think about what's going on today. All right, the next point is actually these 3 self-care questions. Just take a second and ask yourself, what might your life look like if you actually cared for yourself properly? That would be, would you have more energy? Would you have more free time to do things that you care about? What would it look like? And then ask yourself, what career would challenge me and render me productive and helpful so that I could shoulder my share of the load and enjoy the consequences? And lastly, what should I be doing in my free time to improve my health, my knowledge, and my strength? A lot of us, when we have free time, we almost literally burn it on social media, watching TV, just wasting our time. How can you take that time and actually improve your life so that tomorrow is better than today? Friendships. If you have a friendship that you wouldn't recommend to your father or your sister.
Okay, and that's pretty good. We need to treat ourselves better. You know what I'm saying? Your body is a temple. You know, you see my tattoos. First off, in the Bible, that's not what the tattoos were. The Old Testament, and it's not tattooing he was talking about. That people worshiped a god called Baal. And you would cut yourself and bleed unto him with these marks. And these people had cuts all over them and scars. And do not mark yourself with these marks, is what it meant. You know? I mean, but it gets translated and trashed and drug into with that being like that. You know? So let's get right next. Let's go on to the next one here. I'm sorry. I'm used to doing this. I'm just now getting the hang of doing this live feed. Then I got the live video going and stuff, and it's kind of cool. Let's go back over there.
Sister or your daughter, then maybe you shouldn't have that friendship. A lot of people stick with friends that they know are a negative influence on their life out of loyalty, but a friendship is supposed to be something that is reciprocal. You encourage each other, kind of like an iron sharpening iron type deal. But if it's a negative thing and you know that it pulls you down and keeps you back in life, then don't stay in that relationship out of loyalty and support someone who's making the world a worse place just because that's what you've done and that's the easy thing to do.
Okay, what he's doing there is we all have those friends that they're still stuck in the same thing. He's not saying, you know what I'm saying, but it's my thing that these people will drag you down with them. And it's not that they mean to, you know what I'm saying? It's just they're going down. And what's your natural instinct when you're drowning? And somebody else tries to throw you a life or they swim out there with you, you know what I'm saying, to try to show you to swim back. Yeah, look, you swim back this way. What are they going to do every time? They're going to latch onto you and then suck you down with them. Now we have two people out here floundering where you could have stayed afloat by yourself, but then you took your sobriety or whatever that is, and you've come out here with these people, you know what I'm saying, and tried to, and you weren't financially, or that's not even a financial thing. You weren't emotionally, mentally, or physically in a place to help anybody because you're just barely helping yourself. Yet you go out here in these waters and then you want to start doing, you know what I'm saying, stuff for people. And then you end up right back in the same boat, being an addict, you know what I'm saying, you know, in your addiction, you know what I'm saying, and then now that you can't help nobody else. You can't help anybody else until you've helped yourself. And sometimes, you know, I think it says in the Bible somewhere, you know what I'm saying, if my hand is committing a sin and I can't stop it from committing a sin, then I need to remove my hand because it's what's keeping me from God. So, I mean, I didn't mean to just get to a religious part, but here we go.
The future mammoth. Save some of the mammoth for later. He talks about kind of the origins of delayed gratification, which is more of a story than factual. Let's say you're back in olden times and you kill a mammoth and you have more than you can actually eat yourself right now. So this might be where delayed gratification starts. Well, you have more than you need right now. You can't really store the rest for later, so you give it to your friends around you in hopes that one day when they kill a mammoth and you're hungry, they will do the same thing for you. And you're really just investing in building your reputation by helping other people. And you're
Okay, we're back. I'm sorry about that. We're having delays here because I don't have very much internet. So it's just dropping flames like crazy right now.
maybe
Sorry
you
about
could
that.
stuff yourselves and hoard it and kind of show off that you have more stuff than everybody right now. But instead, you're sacrificing right now for the future. And people who do practice delayed gratification generally are a lot happier and a lot more successful. I know for me, doing this through frugal living was one of the biggest impacts on my life that actually gave me a lot of freedom through kind of sacrificing some pleasures in the present moment. By the way, if you're getting any value out of this, it would honestly mean a ton to me if you could subscribe. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday and not who somebody else is today. This is one of the easiest traps to.
Yes, comparing yourself to who you were. Okay, let's go back. Let's get that one more time.
Moment. By the way, if you're getting any value out of this, it would honestly mean a ton to me if you could subscribe. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday and not who somebody else is today.
Yeah.
This is one of the easiest traps to.
Compared to yourself to who you were yesterday, and not compare yourself to who somebody else is today. I see our youth really falling into this trap. You see this person and that person. Like I base my comedic success on, because I'm not on any circuits now, or I haven't gotten in which I've just started doing comedy like 6 months. So, I got like 42 jokes. You know what I'm saying? So really, how can I compare myself to some of these people who've been doing this for years? Years. How can I compare myself to those people? But here, let's you know, and then you're comparing yourself to somebody who what you think what their life is here on TikTok and stuff like that, and you're seeing glimpses of their made up life, like these van video. That sounds great, but dude, I've lived out of not on that, but I've been on the road living out of a van. You know what I'm saying, with 3 other guys going from town to town. And it's rough. Just in here, just driving with a couple other guys to another town, and everybody's got their own personality. Everybody in the car is a fucking comedian, really. But but it's you have to deal with a lot of personalities and stuff like that. And then your success and stuff like that. I'm like, well, man, dude, this dude's been doing this for years and stuff like that. So I'm not, it's going to be years before I get it. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm doing better than I was yesterday, you know what I'm saying? Or compared to myself 10 years ago, or compared to myself 5 years ago, I'm doing extremely better. I'm doing 99% better than I was last year. You know? It's just tough, man. It's tough, and everything's, you know what I'm saying? Here, I'm going to let this guy continue on what he's got to say so we can get done with this today. We're only about halfway through.
I've fallen into this over and over. When you see other people on social media, it's so prevalent right now. You see the results of years of hard work. You don't see the day-to-day progression. So focus on being better in the slightest possible way today than you were yesterday, and just keep that going forward and watch how your life changes. Start stopping.
Okay, you know one thing I do? I get up every morning and I make my bed when I get out of it. I just do that. You know what I'm saying? I get up in the morning, I make my bed. You know what I'm saying? I try to go to the gym every day. You know what I'm saying? I try to get into my workout routine every day. Because being attention deficit disorder and autistic, I got ADF, that I have trouble sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I crave stimulation. You know what I'm saying? And the dopamine hit. You know what I'm saying? For attention deficits. So I'll just be, you know what I'm saying? To be like, see, I ADD'd out because somebody texted me. Yeah. But I mean, you understand where we're going for this. Let me rewind it a little bit. Let's start right here. Just do the little things. The little things add up to big things, okay? That's like they say, oh, I'm not going to church high. Now, I'm not justifying going to church out of your mind, but if that's what's keeping you from going to church, you're being high, then go to church. God will take that from you. You know what I'm saying? The next thing you know, you'll be doing stuff that you don't. Look, I sing in the choir in church now. You know, so that's got to, you know what I'm saying, be somewhat of a thing to adjust to. You know what I'm saying? And in a church where the community out here knew me growing up. You know what I'm saying? They've seen me raise hell. They know I'm about wild. I'm about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm about that shit. I used to be about that shit. You know? Here we go. Let's go on because this is going to take forever.
Possible way today than you were yesterday, and just keep that going forward and watch how your life changes. Start stopping today. This pretty much means start stopping what you know to be wrong. Most of us know what we're doing that is wrong, that is holding us back from living.
Okay. Now I'm going to bring this into biblical sense. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Right here, start stopping. Yeah, start stopping the stuff that's hurting you. Okay, it's reconnected. Sorry about that. I keep dropping this. We only have so much internet. You know, people are internet. Can't give you an hour a day of your own internet around here. That's pretty cool, though. So, anyways, let's go on to the next one so I can get this out of here so I can get out there here.
Don't be a monkey. There's this old story about how to kind of catch a monkey in the wild, and that is to get a jar, something that's heavy that the monkey can't really lift, and then you put maybe a rock or something interesting inside that jar. So when the monkey puts its paw in, it grabs it, and then it can't pull its paw back out. And then you just go and you can like pick up the monkey because it will refuse to let go of what's in its hand, even if it means it loses its freedom. Ask yourself.
Now that's a good one right there. Losing your freedom for what you can get. Holding on to something that will cost you your freedom. You know? I mean, come on, man. That's how many people do you know like that out there? They're holding on to something dead. Something, you know what I'm saying, that's killing them. And they won't let go of it. You know what I'm saying? They will not let go of it. And it's so easy to open your hand and let go. But until then, you're just trapped in this never-ending cycle. Once you understand these little things right here, these 12 simple steps, and you start applying them to your life, I'm telling you, I will guarantee you personally, myself, how much better your life would be.
Yourself what you are holding on to so hard that it is fun, is cool, is unique, that is keeping you from having freedom. How to find what you should do next. Place, make the world a better place at the top of your value hierarchy.
And that's why we're here. I'm at that point. I'm trying to make a world a better place. I've bought all this equipment. I got this time. I'm going around doing stand-up. I'm meeting a lot of people. I got a lot of people on my Facebook account. You know what I'm saying? So I can make the world a better place right here with these 1,500 people. You know? Where I can help these 1,500 people right here. Or I can tell them jokes. You know what I'm saying? I could do stuff. Or we could get on here and have discussions that help people become better people. I just heard of somebody today that, you know what I'm saying, was on parole. A family member's family member was on parole. And now, you know, when you're on parole, you should keep your mouth shut and you should watch what you do. But, you know what I'm saying, you got flippant, you jumped on somebody. Now guess what's happening? Now you're going to back up your parole because they're not going to play with your ass. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to, and we're too old people to be acting like this, dude. We are old as fuck. You know what I'm saying? We are grown as fuck, dude, to be acting like we act nowadays. It's a shame, dude. You know, and you wonder why the kids now are going left, dude. Look, between 18 and 36-year-olds have predominantly swung right. You know what I'm saying? Which, I mean, politically, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even a right-wing person. You've made me a right-wing person. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You've made me a Republican because of your nonsense. Y'all spout fucking nonsense. You got to make the world a better place for our children and grandchildren. And then, so, get off here and stop shaking your ass and putting out content that's worth watching. Something people want to see, something that lifts people up, makes people want to go help people. Do you want to know one little tidbit of information? You know what I'm saying? We were so quick to talk about Nazis in Germany. 33%, which I bet it was a little higher than that, could not wait to tell on their neighbors for wearing masks and stuff like that. That's Nazi Germany levels in everybody else's business. I just want you to know that. You know what I'm saying? That's Nazi Germany levels. And Nazi Germany, Nazi stands for what? National Socialist Party. Germany. That's what it stands for. That's what they were, the National Socialist Party. You know? So just when you think about that, you know what I'm saying, you're like, oh, let's redistribute all the money and stuff like that. There's very many, you know what I'm saying, usually millionaires die. They made their money. When they die, their kids blow their money. You know what I'm saying? So most millionaires that are millionaires got it by being at the right place at the right time and doing the right thing. But here, let me go on with a couple more.
In that way,
of these.
what you should actually do will become a lot more clear. Just asking yourself, how can I use my time that will make the world a better place? And it doesn't have to be huge stuff, but things will just start to present themselves. Maybe it's to declutter a room so it's more inviting and less stressful. That would make your world a little bit of a better place. Maybe it's doing the dishes, cooking dinner. What are those little things that you can do with your time that will make your environment, the world around you, a little bit of a better place? Always tell the truth. Taking the easy way out or telling.
Always tell the truth. For a lot of people, man, that's the hardest thing to do. It seems like they just lie. You know what I'm saying? And they say the truth will set you free. I don't know about that. I was always told to tell the truth. Tell the truth. Make sure you tell the truth. So now I tell the truth. But when I do, it usually gets me in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I guess it's the truths that we tell, though. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, even if telling the truth gets you in trouble, it's better be in trouble for telling the truth. It's better be, just look at the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Hundreds of people saw Jesus. And then when they were confronted, they could have said, no, we didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? We were lying about it. But no, they were persecuted upon to death. Okay? So I mean, 500 people persecuted to death. So, I mean, do you think people are going to stand up for something that they did not believe like that? Come on, you know? Everybody that's seen him literally got killed for doing it.
In the truth are not only two different choices, they're really two different ways of living your life. They are completely different ways of existing. So even when it might make things a little bit awkward, or you're trying to do it for somebody else, or it's just simpler to lie, tell the truth, or at least don't lie. You need to fight with your partner. This sounds like bad advice, but hear me out.
You need to fight with your partner. Let's go ahead. Okay, let's go ahead and hear this one out first. Let's hear this.
A lot of times we will not say anything to our partner, and it's because we think that we are doing the right thing. If there's an issue or they're doing something and you remain silent and you convince yourself that it's because you're a peace-loving person, you're being the bigger person here, and you just sweep it under the rug, then that monster that's under the rug gets a little bit bigger. And if you continue to do that over years, eventually that monster is going to come out of the rug and it's going to eat you. Like, that was just a terrible analogy that I used there. But honestly, this is something that I've been working on
recently.
It's a great
analogy.
When somebody says something that you don't agree with, or it's hurtful in some way, instead of just brushing it under the rug and then kind of harboring some resentment, have a conversation with them, have an argument with peace as the goal at the end of that argument or that conversation. You're not trying to hurt them back, you're trying to get peace. You need to define success. So a lot of us won't define success, because if we do that, then we're also defining what failure is. And if we don't reach this success, then we are a failure. So to eliminate us seeing ourselves as a failure, we will never be a success. We will never try to be a success, because we will never define what success is. But even if we do this, we will know deep down that there is something that we could have been that we are not. And that's honestly something that's been really driving for me, is making sure that, 10 years from now or whatever, I don't look back and say, I could have been this if I had just tried for it. But I never tried for it because I was scared of failing at it. And therefore I missed out on ever even having an opportunity. So it's a scary thought. Compassion as a vice. A lot of people out there who are compassionate.
Compassion as a vice. This is a good one right here. I'm gonna let
kind
this
of
go
to
on.
a fault, and it ends up hurting themselves and those around them when you are the person that will never confront those around them when they're doing something wrong, when you never speak up for yourself when things are unfair. You don't only cripple yourself and hurt yourself emotionally, you hold back those around you from having accountability for actions that are not okay.
So you hear that, right? You're not helping people by letting them live in delusion. Forcing them to see the truth, no matter how hard it is, you're doing them a favor. That's being a friend. I've had lots of friends, that stopped talking to me and stuff because my addiction got so bad. And then I would stop talking to them because I didn't want to hear it and stuff like that. These are almost like saying basic. It's just a updated version of the 12 steps to recovery.
While compassion is a really important and good thing, just make sure you're not taking it too far and kind of letting it ruin your life. Intolerance of others' views. He actually says this really well, so I'm just going to quote him. Intolerance of others' views, no matter how ignorant or incoherent they may be, is not simply wrong. In a world where there is no right or wrong, it is worse. It is a sign that you are embarrassingly unsophisticated or possibly dangerous. There's a lot of people who don't like Jordan Peterson and have probably never read any of his books, but just they hear something and they see a news article and that's why they're not going to like him. So while I don't agree with everything that he says, it's important to actually not just shut people off or try to block them or pretend that they don't exist if you don't agree with them, but instead have conversations and see if you can glean.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? Either try to see where they're coming from or try to get them to see where you're coming from without getting angry or dismissing them or telling them that they're crazy and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these conspiracy theories turned out to be conspiracy facts. Turned out to be facts. There was no conspiracy in it. Our government was weaponized against a presidential opponent. Our government cheated us, and they embezzled money. They fixed an election. This is all stuff that happened. You know what I'm saying? This has happened. I can show you the graph, you know what I'm saying, that pulls it up. It's insane, the amount of corruption our government is in. And yet we're just like, oh, well, it's better to do that. We keep electing these same people, these same idiots, you know what I'm saying? And and we're still keep getting our news from the same legacy news media who's owned by the Rothschilds and the, at Ellen DeGeneres is descended from a Rothschild. All these people are descendants from, from the money that started this country into the direction it's in. And there's no telling how far back it goes. Like, I believe the Roman Empire never failed. It just became the Roman Catholic Church. And they were just like, their parents, usually you have really liberal parents. They were having vomitoriums, orgies and stuff. And then you got extreme religion over here. You're the children of the Romans became the Roman Catholic Church. Is where all the money went, It's going.
Glean something from other people and not just kind of block them off because you just don't want to hear what they have to say. Stand up straight with your shoulders back. Posture actually makes a huge difference in your emotion. If you don't believe me, you can just try this right now. If you stand up with your shoulders back, you loosen up, you have a confident pose, you feel more confident. Just like that's all.
Head, chin up, head back, shoulders up, stand straight, at attention. Grab a man's hand when he shakes. When a man walks in the room, stand up and shake his hand. Yes, sir, no, sir. Those aren't signs of inferiority. Those are signs of respect. And you sound so trashy when you don't. When you, what, yeah, what? You know what I'm saying? That shit's not cool, dude. You're not cool. And the sheer fact that kids nowadays do that now, it's insane.
All you need to do, you feel more confident. So if you're sitting down,
so
you're
here we're
slouching
about to
right
go
now,
to the
try
last
sitting
one.
up straight. You will suddenly feel more confident. You'll feel more motivated. Really focus on your posture. It'll change how other people see you. It'll change how you see yourself by doing something so stupidly simple as standing up straight with your shoulders back. You don't.
Another thing I might add to this: smile. Make sure you smile too, even in the face of your enemies. Smile and pray for them, because it heaps coals upon their heads. You know what I'm saying? About, well, what's that dude sitting there smiling at me for? And it's because you're not bothered by them. Don't let them bother you. If you're one of God's children, if you believe Jesus Christ rose from the dead and stuff, you ain't got shit to worry about from these people. So,
Get who you want. You get who you are. This is really just the idea that actions speak louder than words. So really, if you're not the person who you want to be right now, then you need to start doing things that are the person that you want to be. You need to start changing who you are by doing more.
okay, there we go. Changing up, doing more. You speak it into existence. You speak it into the ether. Once you start becoming the person you want to be, you know what I'm saying? You got to visualize it. Once you visualize it, you have to do what you have to do to make it into that. You know what I'm saying? That's all you have to do is try. You know what I'm saying? It'll happen. It'll happen for you. I've yet to see a person do all these three and them not succeed off of these 12 steps. It's happening over and over again out there. But that's what I wanted to bring y'all tonight, this 12 steps. I wanted to get out here and run this for a little bit and see how it wants to come up. I appreciate everybody who's been on my live stream. We're about 44 minutes into this 12 minutes. But I want to thank y'all. Thank y'all for listening. And I'm going to put together more little stuff like this. I'm just now figuring it all out and stuff like that. But I love y'all. Thank y'all for supporting me. You know what I'm saying? In my journey and stuff like that. Hopefully we'll see each other from the mothership pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? Once I get my shit together. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm fixing to go do a couple of hours of writing now. I love all y'all. Put God first. You know what I'm saying? Try to go to church. Try to be a better person. You know what I'm saying? Get up and make your bed. do stuff like that. You know, help others to the point to you can, but if when it comes to your, you know what I'm saying, and don't dismiss people. Don't dismiss people and don't, you know, and just try to leave the world a better place than you got it. That's what we're going to leave for tonight. I love y'all. Everybody take care. And remember the Swamp Ninja. There we go. And we're out.